Hi, I'm at Teemburra Dam, which is in the Pioneer Valley just west of Mackay, and I'm with Steve Andrew, the state member for the seat of Mirani, One Nation, and also Steve Ford, who is the General Manager of Pioneer Valley. What are we doing here, Steve?
So we've come to have a look at the Teemburra Dam, and we're looking at the fact that we've got issues with water. We can't get water to our farmers. The cost
But there's plenty here.
I know that, but it's prohibitive. It's
the cost?
Electricity, the cost per litre, and they're looking at increasing the pricing through the QCA, which will
Queensland
Competition Authority, by the government, another child of the government, like Sunwater is a child of the government, like Ergon is a child of the government. Instruments used, I believe, to victimise farmers, to not allow this water to come from Teemburra Dam to go to the paddock to increase productivity. As we know, every megalitre equates to 5 tonne of cane. So
so it's very valuable.
Extremely. So we've lost a lot of productivity last year, and Steve can tell you about the amount of water that we actually used.
We used only 28% of our water last year, and one of the major reasons is because the cost is so prohibitive. It's the cost of water, then on top of that the cost of electricity. As a distributor, we pump the water from here through our 250 users, and so we pay electricity costs and water costs to do that, but then when it gets to their farms, they have to pay for electricity to pump it onto their farms or to irrigate or to use it.
And it's important to remember that just over my shoulder is Collinsville, which is home at some of the best steaming coal in the world, and over there is Moranbah, which is home of more coal in the world. And yet Australia's electricity costs are the highest in the world when they used to be the lowest, all because of federal and state government imposts.
Absolutely.
So it's driving farmers out of business.
Absolutely.
Correct?
Yes, it is. And you're right. We have 147,000 megalitres of water here in the dam. The capacity of the dam. We use 43,000 odd megalitres on our irrigation scheme, and last year we only used 28% of that, which left an awful lot of water in the dam because it's so expensive.
So Steve, you can see something worse going on. You're talking about the state using this to recover costs.
That's right.
It's really a taxation.
Yep.
And you can see the deindustrialisation of rural land.
So this dam would have paid for itself through taxes, through being an economic powerhouse.
It would have easily paid for itself.
Exactly, and it's there for the actual cane industry and any industry that wants to use it to be able to boost productivity, to keep rural regions in a place where they've got good profits, and it can happen even in a drought. But now, where the way that they're going will actually strand this asset. It'll destroy the fact that no one can afford to use it. So those costs, which equate to, for every dollar that we don't get through the mill, times by 6 out to the region.
So you get more jobs lost outside the farm.
The farmers can't work, they don't employ anybody anymore, Malcolm. They actually get up earlier and go to bed later, work their backside off. All they're doing is working to pay the community, really, and pay the government to get money back off something that they've already paid for.
So they're going to destroy farming, which is, again, another consequence of this ideological push across rural Queensland and Australia. So they're going to destroy farming, which will take out the revenue out of this state.
Absolutely. So no succession plans for the families and the futures of the young people in this area.
So young farmers don't want to stay on the land.
Why would you go on the land when you're going to get debt and you're going to have impost of the children of the government, Sunwater, Ergon, and all the rest of these other small the departments to take money, more money of already an area where there's no disposable income, where they're actually just breaking even, where they're going to go under, because this is what the government's looking to push. The asset gets stranded, everything becomes worth nothing, and then where does it end up?
Tell us.
Our farmers can't.
Straight over to some big corporation, made out China, maybe some big.
So the state government, both Labor and Liberal, have sold assets, public assets, in this state for years now. And this will be another one that will be on the chopping block.
It's going that way. Like the figures and everything suggests that that's the way they're going. It's a shame on them, because we actually pay for these people to look after us, and this is what they're doing to us.
So let me just summarise then. We've got an asset here that's paid for by the state government originally, but it's generated so much revenue for the state that it's well and truly paid for itself, and yet now the state government wants to get more money back and that'll hurt the whole state and especially this
at the
area.
cost of the cane industry.
Just correct something there. This dam was originally paid for by federal, state and local
Thank you.
In-kind contribution.
The growers themselves and Mackay Sugar were involved in paying for the dam in the first place. So it wasn't just the state, but it's the state now that's clawing back this cost recovery through their GOCs.
So it's theft that will eventually lead to privatisation of this, possibly a stranded asset, but certainly one thing is sure, that the area around here won't be productive.
Well, it's a diminished resource that's going to, export dollars that are going to be taken out of the state. Up to 40,000 people revolve.
Let me ask you a question, and we've finished with this one. Who are you supposed to serve? The government or the people?
The people. There is no question that the people are who I serve, and the people pay me they pay me there as an interest to make sure that I've got their best interest at heart.
And the same applies to every MP in federal and state parliament and local councils, but what's happening now is the government is the master, not the servant.
Exactly.